Hello, my name is Mia White and I am the director of Canterbury Community Nursery School. I have been in education for over 20 years and I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about how to avoid burnout in a job that you love. What we do as educators, as teachers, as mentors is challenging and it's hard. And hopefully today I'll be able to give you some tips and some advice and some support and letting you know that you are appreciated and loved, and it's okay to love yourself as well. You wouldn't let this happen to your phone. Don't let it happen to you either. Self-care is a priority, not a luxury. So there's some warning signs to let you know that you're really getting to that place where you're feeling a little burned out. Feeling irritable, quick to snap, not feeling very social, also to wanting to complain a little bit more, starting to feel like you need to go back into your shell, you can't sleep, your eating has changed, whether it's eating more or eating less, but you really start to feel those physical symptoms. It's almost like it's a brain fog. And when you start to feel that way, it's time to take a moment and say, okay, what is going on? Today I want to give you some quick tips on how to avoid that burnout. As your brain starts to feel that fog and as we start to think, oh gosh, why am I doing this job? I've been doing it for so long, and we almost at times forget why we started teaching. Here are some quick tips how to just avoid this teacher burnout. And we're going to talk a little bit more throughout this hour on how to give this to you. I want you to stay healthy. Slow down sometimes. Learn how to be in that moment. We're going to talk about making yourself a priority. It's a hard thing to do when we're a teacher. We could be a mother, a wife, a daughter, caring for children, caring for a loved one. Those are moments where we have to turn and say, how do I make myself this priority? I also want you to learn how to have your support group with your colleagues. How do you become friends and use the people that we have around us for that support team? Also to set boundaries. That's a hard one. I think that's hard for anybody. It's very hard too when you're a natural caregiver and you are wanting to help everyone around you. And then also too, how to establish a routine. Our life is so crazy, much busier now than we were years and years ago. Whether you're running off to help your children in gymnastics or dance or sports, whether we have to go to the grocery stores, clean the house, all these things that we have to do, we're multitasking, right? We're powerful in what we do and who we are. So we sometimes forget about a routine. So today we're going to talk about how do you establish a routine to help support you and to help put that joy back into your daily life. So, staying healthy, that's a big one. We think that yes, we're going to get healthy, and now we're looking at January soon here, and we're going to be looking at possibly starting new routines and trying to decide how we can start taking better care of ourselves. It's easy to forget. No doubt about it. Like I said earlier, we're busy, we're running around. Well, staying healthy is it's almost as when you're on the airport and in an airplane and they say to you, you have to put your mask on first before you can help others. Staying healthy, you have to put your mask on first before we help others. So that means eating right. That means starting a routine to make sure that you have enough time to take care of yourself and eat right. Add more fruits and vegetables. Add leaner meats. If you can go organic, go organic. Try to stay away from foods that give your sugars the highs and those lows, right? Staying away from high fatty foods, high sugar foods, drinks, or things that have a lot of caffeine in them. Learning how to balance your daily intake. Also too, exercise. Exercise has shown huge results in how exercise actually affects the brain. It releases the endorphins, which help boost serotonin levels. Serotonin levels are what make your moods either happy, or if you have low serotonin, then low energy, not as happy. So exercising daily, even if it is a 20 or 30-minute exercise, it's going to help boost your brain. And when you exercise, actually it will help you to retain information, be able to feel more organized, to be able to feel happy, and that fog, that brain fog that we talked about, that'll help lift that away as well. So try to add some of that daily exercise routine into your schedule. And of course, one of the most important is also sleep. We want to get at least 8 hours of sleep. Now, I know that can be very challenging, whether you have a newborn at home, whether you have teenagers, whether you have, you're going through life's changes, it doesn't matter. Sleep can be a very challenging thing, but work at trying to get 6 to 8 hours of continuous healthy sleep. Routine before you go to bed, that helps also with a good night. As we tell some of our younger students, when we're working with younger students and their parents, we will say, make sure we give them a routine. It helps them understand the world around them. That's the same thing for us. We need to set ourselves with a good night routine so we can get a very long and healthy rest. So another thing when we're talking about how to avoid a burnout is really learning how to slow down and be in the moment. There is a wonderful practice called mindfulness. And I believe that mindfulness can happen throughout our entire day. And when I say it's a practice, it's not something that we learn right off of the bat. This is a marathon. And it's something that we have to take a daily practice in. And it starts with the little things as even taking a shower in the morning. So have you ever driven to work and you get to work and you say, wow, how did I get here? Right? Because you don't remember that whole time between leaving your house and getting to work. Or have you ever taken a shower and you think after you get out of the shower, did I wash my hair? I don't remember. Because we are spending so much time thinking about the next moment. What we really need to learn how to and practice how to take each moment as a special moment and be in that space. So one of the first things that I always talk to people about is when we're eating a meal. When we eat dinner, breakfast, lunch, we usually are possibly multitasking or we're talking to other people. What I really would love to see you do is take each bite and actually taste each bite, chew each bite. Listen to what that does to your body. Slow down. Take those moments that we need to actually taste our food, right? What ends up happening is not only did we enjoy our food much better, but we usually end up eating a little bit less. Our body will tell us when to stop eating. And you get to really enjoy the time. Eating is something that's very special, and it can be surrounded with people that you love, or it can be surrounded with just showing yourself that nourishment and that joy. Also, when you're exercising, if you choose to walk or run or work out on the weights, walk mindfully. Lift your weights mindfully. Actually listen to your body and take that time to be in that moment. And sometimes you have to take a breath and actually stop to get yourself back into that mindfulness moment. Look at your surroundings when you're taking a walk outside. Look at your surroundings when you're walking down the hallway of your school or your work, wherever you are. One of the things that I always do right before I'm about to walk into my school, I stop at the door. I take a deep breath and I exhale and I say, I'm here, I'm in the moment. Everything that I've done before that, the earlier in the day getting dressed, is now gone, and I've left it at the wayside. So I'm about to walk in to my school, and whoever I walk into first, whoever I see first, they're going to have my presence. I'm going to be there 100%. There's something so satisfying and special about that. Again, we are all racing and racing around this world. So if you can take those moments and see that smiling face looking up at you, or smile at your coworker, and just be happy for that exact moment, it brings joy automatically to your life. You don't have to do anything. As Eckhart Tolle once said, a single breath in and out is its own meditation. Right? So take those moments to feel your breath and let it go. And you might have to do it once or twice. When we're working with young children, and we work with mindfulness at our school with young children, we're teaching our young children even how to be in the moment and be present. It is a tool that will last you for a lifetime. Stop and pause. Look at the world around you. Look at the trees. Look at the sun. Every day, take that time to practice mindfulness. It's not easy to do. I will tell you that. But I will also tell you that it gets easier the more that you do it. And the more that you do it, the more joy you find in the world around you. Mindfulness is like getting lost in the flow of the things that you love to do. It's being present. That needs no explanation. Sit silent. Sometimes throughout your day, just sit and listen and let the world come to you. Make yourself a priority. Right? That's a hard one. How do we do that when we are teachers, when we're educators, when we're directors, when we're moms, when we're wives, when we're sisters, when we're caretakers? Make yourself a priority. Take time to look and see what that feels like for you. Are you uncomfortable? If somebody says, do something for you, how do you feel? Take a moment right now to close your eyes and sit and think, what can I do to make myself a priority? And am I okay with that? So right now, take a breath. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Just listen to your body. Don't do anything. Just breathe. Now think, what would I do for me if I made myself a priority? What does that look like? Would you go to the beach for a weekend just to get away? Maybe the mountains? Would you spend time just laughing with your children or go dancing? Would you eat your favorite meal and watch your favorite movie? Would you go get a manicure or a pedicure or a haircut? Right? What does that look like for you? Now I want you to think, what is stopping you from doing that? Do we not have enough time? Is it financial? Is it not feeling deserving? I know that that's a hard one, is to feel deserving to take care of yourself. Now think about if you had the time, if you had the finances, and if you made yourself a priority and felt loving and deserving, what does that feel like for you right now? As you're sitting here with your eyes closed, how does that feel? Does it make you uncomfortable? Does it make you want to take a deeper breath and fill your heart? Now, go ahead and take a deep breath and let it go and open your eyes. Making yourself a priority, it's going to nourish your body, it's going to nourish your brain, and it's going to allow you to trust your instincts. right? There are times where we give and give and give, and we get home at the end of the day, and all we want to do is just be. I'm here right now to tell you that is okay, to give yourself permission to just be and make time for yourself every day to be that priority. Like I said earlier, if you're on an airplane, the flight attendant is going to say, put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. If you are driving without gas, how long are you going to be able to drive? That car will eventually stop moving, right? So we want to do everything that we can to keep our tank full. And when we keep our tank full, our hearts are full. And that's what putting that passion back into our daily life. And it's okay if we forget sometimes, but we have to remember to bring that back. When we forget to make ourselves a priority, one of our biggest keys into life is having friends that support you. Because they're the ones who are going to turn to you and say, aha, you're not taking care of yourself. What's going on? What can I do to help you? Right? So we want to surround ourselves with people that love, support, and nurture us. And also sometimes have to remind us, give us a little bit of a nudge or a push to say, hey, come on. Now, I have to tell you, in education, we work with people who already have our back. They're already doing exactly what we're doing. So there's this camaraderie that happens naturally, but it's not always easy. Actually, there's statistics that say 18% of employees surveyed stated that they don't consider anyone that they work with a friend. 18% say they have no friends. Well, that leaves 82% of people who consider at least one friend at work, right? 82%. That's not so bad. 29% of those people say they consider someone at work their best friend, right? So you have an opportunity to find your best friend at work. We don't have to feel competitive. We don't have to feel threatened. What we have to feel is, this is my team. This is my family. These are the people who know exactly what I do all day long because they're doing it too. So whether you've worked in the same place for 20 years or whether this is your first year in this job, look around and see, who can I have something in common with? It's not that easy for everybody to turn around and put themselves right out there and be in the open. But there are ways to bring people to you. You have to make the first move. You really do sometimes. There might be somebody in your group who is that extrovert who will make the first move towards you, and that's wonderful. But if that doesn't happen, don't put your shield up. Don't think that's it. I'm going to come to work every day and I'm not going to have any friends, right? Use this time and this opportunity to make that first move. It's human nature to sit back and to analyze. We know that. But go out and trust a little bit right now. Pay attention. When people are talking, pay attention to what they're saying. And it is so wonderful to be with someone who you know is truly listening to you. You can be that person that truly listens to somebody else. We are our worst critic. So we are going to sit here normally for our own self. Most people will judge what they're saying or what they're doing. But if you look at somebody and they say, wow, that person really hears me, they're listening to me, it's a moment where you can say, here's our bond right now. Take extra attention, remain positive. If you are in a toxic environment where maybe your director or your principal or your manager is somebody that not everybody can get along with, that does happen, but that doesn't mean that you have to feed into it and stir the pot, right? What that means is you can listen and you can be there for that person, but that doesn't mean that you need to also go down that rabbit hole. Stay positive, because what's going to happen is when you start to stay positive, then you can take that person and also bring them to you, to where you are in your thoughts, which if we're around positive people, it just makes our day better. It makes going to work better. Now, if you're anything like me, work is a place where it can bring joy. If you have young children, if you have teenagers, you're trying to get out of bed every morning. If you're working with young students, they come and they look at you like you're a rock star. Who doesn't want to look like a rock star, right? Take those moments to be in a positive place. Create a positive place in your workspace. Be a team player, and most importantly, keep your word. Be somebody that shows kindness, compassion, empathy, and true care about wanting to become friends. I also believe that to avoid a burnout is not to make your profession your hobby. That can be hard. If you're a teacher and an educator, we work all the time, whether we're going home and we're grading papers or we're cutting things out for next day's curriculum. If we're trying to talk to parents, answer emails, we take our whole life and it becomes work. If you're a mom, a mother, a sister, a friend, we lose track of that because we're just spending that time working. So I want you to look and think about some things that you love to do. Again, making yourself that priority, bringing things into your life that bring you joy. Is it going to the gym? Is it watching your child play on a sports team? Is it going to the movies? Is it having brunch with some of your girlfriends? Do things that bring you joy. Maybe reading that book that you've wanted to read for so long. Enjoy, maybe sewing, maybe taking pottery classes. Whatever that means for you, take that time to not allow work to become your hobby. We want to separate that. We want to be able to give ourselves some downtime from the things that we have to do constantly. So I recommend finding something that you love to do. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is a challenge for most people. It's difficult because if you're a people pleaser, or if you're someone that is caring, nurturing, most teachers are automatically, we care so much that we give so much, whether it's to our boss, whether it's to our families, whether it's to our students. But it's really important to set boundaries, and I'm going to say that it is okay to set boundaries. As a director, I tell my teachers, please do not give your cell phone. I don't want you to have to live your life as being a teacher 24/7. I want you to spend time with your family. I want you to spend time with your friends. I don't want you to have to worry about that. It is okay to say to your parents, I will get back to you within 24 hours unless it's the weekend, and then I'll get back to you on Monday. Directors, I hope you give your teachers that permission as well. Because if we allow our teachers to have boundaries, then we're going to allow them to be the best that they can possibly be. And I know that we deal with different types of parents. We have that overzealous parent, right, who wants to do everything and be everything for you. We do have that absent parent, right, that parent who, gosh, you wish they would answer an email. We have that parent who's the bossy parent who wants to tell you how to run the classroom. That does happen. We have that chatty parent who comes to the door and just wants to talk at the doorway and see what's going on. We also have that angry parent. We have that parent who is upset, who wants to spend that time being upset with maybe miscommunication or something that happened in the classroom, a bully, whatever it may be. A good rule of thumb is how to place these boundaries early on in the beginning of this school year. We feel that it's very important, it's critical to bridge that gap between home and school, but that doesn't mean that you have to spend hours returning calls, returning emails, trying to talk to parents in the hallways, things like that. You want to be able to let them know that you'll answer them, that you're there for them and you support them, but that there's a time And you have to decide what that time is. And maybe that's something that you talk to your director about, or maybe that's something that you just set up right in the beginning of it. Also, too, if you ever feel as though a parent is crossing the line, or a coworker is crossing the line, or even your director is crossing the line, know that there's someone that you can talk to. Have that already in place, that you can talk to somebody and say, hey, what do I do when this happens? Most directors are there to support you in anything that you do. And knowing that they are there to help you in your day-to-day relationships with your parents and with your students, it'll give you a little bit more permission to set that. Establishing a routine. This is one that I don't know if I could survive if I didn't have my routine. I actually set up a routine even on the meals that I'm going to make throughout the week. And if I don't do that, I noticed that I have much more anxiety and much more stress. I don't sleep as well. And to be honest, I'm not as nice to be around if I don't have my routine in place. One of the best ways to establish a routine is just to sit down with a pen and paper. And I want you to sit down with that pen and paper and think about all the things that you do every day. Write that list. This is what I do every day. And you have 2 columns. One side, put it down. You might need 2 pieces of paper if you're a busy person. And look and see what you do in a day. Then I want you to make another column and look at what really, really has to stay. Out of your daily routine, what really needs to be there. Then I want you to make another column, and in that other column, what can you get rid of? What doesn't bring any benefit into your daily routine, into your life? And then I want you to say, okay, I have these 3 things. I'm going to keep this. These are the ones I need to keep, but these are the ones that I need to let go. The great thing about this is that you're in control of your columns. So if you let go of something and you find out that, oh wait, I really do need that back, that's okay. You can go ahead and put it back. Or if you're starting to be more aware of the things that you do and the time that you're spent doing it, maybe you need to say to yourself, yes, this is important, but this one is not. So you are in control. You're sitting in the driver's seat. And you can make any decision. You could change anything that you want in your routine. But you first have to establish one. What I like to do is even on your Sunday afternoon, look at your week. Turn around and look at your week. What are you going to eat for breakfast that day, or lunch, or dinner? Are you somebody that comes home at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and the kids are hungry and you think, we're just going to go out to eat? And maybe you go somewhere that you normally wouldn't have because it's fast and it's quick. So instead of doing that, why not set up on Sunday the things that you're going to eat for the week? How am I going to feed my family and myself with foods that have nutrients and that have value, right? Whether it's making a dozen muffins on Sunday afternoon, or maybe going and buying them, but at least you have them and you know this is what we're going to have for the week. Establishing a routine, it might feel overwhelming at first. That's okay. It could feel overwhelming, but like anything, it takes time and it takes some practice, right? Practice is a big word in bringing joy into your life. But once you have an idea of what your routine is, then you start to modify it and you start to see what's working and what's not working. And then when it doesn't work, you change it. You might have to change it every so often anyways, because life, we change. Things happen. So allow yourself some flexibility, but know that you're in the driver's seat, that you're in control. Don't worry if something isn't working. It's your routine. Tailor it to your needs, but have a routine. Have an opportunity where you feel in control, that you know what's going to happen for the week. When you start to feel like you have some control over that, again, automatically just brings more joy into your life. So I want you to think about, right now, and you'll see in your handout, what do you do to rejuvenate yourself when you've had that day that just, you get home and you go, wow, what happened today, right? You're exhausted. What do you do, or what can you do that you can close your eyes for a moment? Think of 5 things that you could do that would help you rejuvenate. Is it taking a hot bath? Is it drinking a cup of tea? Sitting down to read a book? Is it going to get a pedicure? Is it having a quiet dinner? Maybe it's just sitting quietly and doing nothing. Maybe it's taking a walk with your dog. Something that's going to bring you that joy and help you fill your gas tank. Put your mask on first and rejuvenate your soul, that you have all the energy that you have given out all day today. So take a moment and choose 5 things. Now, I'd like you to think for just a moment on what causes that stress. What are 5 things that really exhaust you? And think about what that is. It could be running back and forth or carpool. It could be you forgot your lunch today. It could be there's a child in your classroom who really truly is challenging you. Could be a parent that is challenging you, or a coworker that is challenging you. But just take a moment and think about 5 things that are your challenge today, that cause you to be stressed. Now, I want you to take those 5 things and cross them with the positive things. So you know, if there's a child in your classroom that's causing you stress, every time you feel that, you can say to yourself in your head, so tonight I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit quietly in my bath because of this. Or if it's something else that happened, I'm going to go and have my favorite glass of iced tea, or I'm going to go walk with my dog. Start to correlate some stresses with some positive reinforcement, some positive things. It's not that we can take everything out of our life so we have no stress, but we could start to add some wonderful routines that help rejuvenate and take away from those stressors during the day. So I know we can't eliminate the stress completely, but we can add some things in that help lessen that stress and rejuvenate our bodies and our souls and our minds and our heart. Your self-care checklist. Wake up 30 minutes before anyone else to balance yourself before the day starts. Nourish your body by eating healthy foods. Play your favorite music whenever you can. It's an instant mood changer. Keep routines simple to streamline and to save time. Ask others for support or help. Set aside time to talk or visit with friends at least once a week. Make time with your spouse. Schedule a date night. Shift your mindset to feel comfortable taking time for self-care. Organize your day the night before to save time and lessen the morning stress. Start a gratitude journal. Create a daily bedtime and morning routine that takes care of you. And prioritize your sleep. You are more likely to be happy in your job when you're happy in your life. My name is Mia White, and I'm so glad that you are here with me today. I hope to see you again soon.